Wind howled. It was a sound that seemed to come from the very soul of the earth, a mournful cry that echoed through the trees and across the barren landscape. The night was alive with the whispers of ancient secrets, carried on the breath of the wind. It was as if the forest itself was trying to warn her, to tell her to turn back before it was too late. But Maya was resolute. She had come too far to be swayed by the voices of the past, a symphony of the abyss. The chasm before her was not just a physical void, but a metaphorical one as well. It represented the unknown, the unseen, the unfathomable. The swirling mists seemed to dance to a tune only they could hear, a haunting melody that spoke of forgotten realms and lost souls. The echoes that emanated from its depths were like the voices of the damned, forever trapped in a purgatory of their own making. Maya felt a shiver run down her spine as she gazed into the abyss, feeling its pull on her very soul. Maya stared into the chasm. Her eyes were wide with a mixture of fear and determination. She knew that what lay ahead would test her in ways she could not yet comprehend. The darkness seemed to reach out to her, inviting her to step into its embrace. But Maya was not one to be easily swayed. She had a mission, a purpose, and she would see it through to the end. The chasm was just another obstacle, another challenge to be overcome. Its depths mirrored the unknown she was about to face. The water was like a dark mirror, reflecting not just her physical form, but her inner turmoil as well. She could see her own troubled eyes staring back at her, filled with questions and doubts. But she could also see the strength and resolve that lay beneath the surface. The unknown was daunting, but it was also an opportunity to prove herself, to show the world what she was capable of, and she would not let it slip through her fingers. Her mission, a whisper in the roaring wind. Steal the quantum algorithm. The word seemed almost surreal, like a dream she couldn't quite wake up from. The wind tore at her clothes and hair as if trying to strip her of her resolve. But Maya held firm. The quantum algorithm was the key to everything, the linchpin that could change the course of history. It was a secret so powerful that nations would go to war over it, and it was her job to ensure it didn't fall into the wrong hands. The fate of nations hung by a thread she now held. Below, the labyrinth awaited. It was a maze of corridors and tunnels, each one more treacherous than the last. But Maya was prepared. She had studied the blueprints, memorized every twist and turn. She knew that one wrong move could spell disaster, not just for her, but for the entire world. The weight of that responsibility was almost overwhelming, but it also gave her strength. She would not fail. She could not fail. A man-made hell swallowed by the mountain. The labyrinth was a testament to human ingenuity and madness. It was a place where science and insanity met, where the lines between right and wrong blurred. The tunnels were dark and foreboding, filled with the ghosts of failed experiments and broken dreams. But Maya was not afraid. She had faced worse in her life, and she had always come out stronger. The labyrinth was just another challenge, another test of her will and determination. The air itself tasted of danger, of cold, calculating precision. Every breath she took was a reminder of the stakes, of the lives that hung in the balance. The environment was sterile, almost clinical, but it was also filled with hidden dangers. Precision tools lay scattered around, each one a potential weapon. Maya's senses were on high alert, her mind racing with possibilities. She knew that one wrong move could be her last, but she also knew that she had the skills and the training to succeed. One misstep, one wrong breath, and she would become another ghost story whispered by the wind. The landscape was like something out of a nightmare, filled with fog and shadows. Every step she took was measured, every breath controlled. She could feel the eyes of the past on her, watching, waiting. But Maya was not one to be easily intimidated. She had a mission, a purpose, and she would see it through to the end. The ghosts of the past would have to wait. She had a future to secure. "Maya!" a voice crackled in her earpiece. The handler, calm, collected, a stark contrast to the turmoil brewing inside her. The wind howled around her, but Maya stood firm, her eyes scanning the horizon for any sign of movement. "Remember the stakes. This algorithm, it can't fall into the wrong hands." The handler's words echoed in her mind, a constant reminder of the gravity of her mission. "I haven't forgotten," Maya muttered, her voice barely audible above the wind. She knew the importance of her task, but the weight of it was almost unbearable. Her hand instinctively went to the combat knife strapped to her thigh. It was a small comfort, a reminder of her training and the countless hours she had spent preparing for this moment, a familiar comfort in a world of unknowns. The blade had seen her through many challenges, and she trusted it as much as she trusted herself. The world is counting on you, Maya. Don't let us down. The handler's voice was a steady presence in her mind, a beacon of guidance in the chaos. The line went dead. The silence was deafening. For a moment, Maya felt the weight of isolation, the crushing loneliness of being the only one who could carry this burden. No pressure then, just the fate of the world resting on her shoulders. She took a deep breath, steeling herself for the challenges ahead. As she moved through the dark alley, the shadows seemed to whisper secrets, tales of those who had come before her and failed. But Maya was different. Her eyes, sharp and focused, scanned every corner, every hidden nook. She couldn't afford to miss a single detail. At a crossroads, she paused, weighing her options. Each path held its own dangers, its own set of challenges. Taking a deep breath, she steeled herself for the journey ahead. The road was long and fraught with peril, but she was ready. With each step, she felt the weight of her mission, but also the strength that came with it. She was not just a soldier, she was a beacon of hope, a symbol of resilience in a world teetering on the edge of chaos. Months of grueling training flashed before her eyes. The endless simulations, the bone-jarring combat drills, the mental conditioning that pushed her to the brink and beyond. They forged her into a weapon, honed for this mission. But even the sharpest blade could falter against an unyielding wall. And this labyrinth, she could feel it, was an unyielding wall of secrets and death. The descent was treacherous, every step a calculated risk. The labyrinth's entrance, a gaping maw of steel and concrete, swallowed her whole. The air grew heavy, thick, with the metallic scent of fear. The silence was unnerving. Only the rhythmic thud of her own heart dared to break it. Each turn, each corridor seemed to whisper a warning, but Maya pressed on, her resolve hardening with every step. The data vault, a fortress within a fortress, walls of reinforced steel pulsating with energy, pressure sensors, laser grids, motion detectors. Maya studied the layout, her mind working through 1,000 different scenarios, each more dangerous than the last. There was no margin for error. One wrong move and it was over. Section 6, Dance of the Phantom. She moved like a phantom. Fluid, precise, a whisper of movement in the sterile air, deactivating pressure plates, bypassing laser beams, her every action a testament to her training. The hum of the data core grew louder, closer, but the air, it held a new scent now, a faint hint of ozone and something else, danger. Section 7, Steel Awakens. The clang of metal on metal shattered the silence. Two figures emerged from the shadows, armed, alert, their faces hidden behind featureless helmets. They moved with a practiced ease that sent a chill down Maya's spine. "Don't move!" one of them growled, his voice amplified by the helmet. But Maya was already moving, a blur of motion. The clash was swift, brutal. Section 8, Trapped in the Web. She fought with the fury of a cornered animal, but they were good. They anticipated her every move. One of the guards lunged. Maya dodged, but not fast enough. A sharp pain shot through her arm. She cried out, the sound swallowed by the labyrinth's cold embrace. Section 9, Echoes of Doubt. They had her surrounded, 2 against 1. The air was thick with tension. Every breath she took felt like a struggle. The guards' eyes bore into her, their expressions a mix of determination and cold indifference. She could feel the weight of their presence, the inevitability of the confrontation that was about to unfold. Her back pressed against the cold steel of the vault. No escape. The metal was unforgiving, a stark reminder of the predicament she found herself in. She could feel the chill seeping through her clothes, a physical manifestation of the dread that was slowly creeping into her mind. The vault door, once a symbol of security, now felt like a prison. The algorithm, the mission, it all seemed to slip away. Was this it? She had spent countless hours, days and nights working towards this moment. The sacrifices, the sleepless nights, the constant pressure, it all seemed to be for nothing. The mission that had defined her existence was now on the brink of failure. Doubt began to cloud her thoughts, making her question every decision she had made up to this point. Had she come all this way just to die in this cold, unforgiving tomb? The walls seemed to close in on her, the darkness amplifying her sense of isolation. The vault, once a place of secrets and hidden treasures, now felt like a tomb ready to claim her as its next victim. The silence was deafening, broken only by the sound of her own ragged breathing. Doubt gnawed at her, but even in the face of defeat, a flicker of defiance remained. She could feel it, a small but persistent flame that refused to be extinguished. It was this defiance that had carried her through countless challenges. And it was this defiance that would carry her through this one. She had faced impossible odds before, and she had always found a way to prevail. She had come too far to give up now. The journey had been long and arduous, filled with moments of doubt and despair. But she had always found a way to push through, to keep moving forward. She could feel the strength within her, a strength that had been forged through years of struggle and perseverance. She would not let this be the end. She would fight with every ounce of strength she had left. The guards may have had her surrounded, but they had underestimated her resolve. She was not just a woman cornered against a vault door. She was a force to be reckoned with, and she would not go down without a fight. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Stay tuned for more thrilling content.